Hi folks, I'm Robert.
And I'm David.
We're the Seven Brothers, and this is Trust No One, Drink Everything.
A channel where we like to talk about conspiracy theories that I bring on a weekly basis that my brother has no idea what we're going to be talking about. At least not this one today.
And I bring all the beers. And this is actually for us to give a try here, give a taste, a little bit of flavor, in hopes I can actually find my brother here to actually like some. He's normally not a beer drinker.
Today, we're talking about the Mandela Effect. But first, let's get to that pour.
Yeah, at least the pop's nice, right? A little bit of fruit into that.
Does look kind of fruity.
Almost like some wine punch, baby. Alright folks, our first beer for this today is actually hails from a city in Indiana called Columbus. The brewery is 450 North Brewing. This is actually called Fruit Fellas. It's a smoothie style sour with a little bit of strawberry, pear, mango, and I believe it's chamoya, which is fruit from... It's a heart-shaped fruit, I know that. So
never even heard of it until you said that. I don't know. So, all right. Well, why doesn't this one have a percentage?
Believe it or not, 450 North have had quite a few of theirs, and a lot of times off the start they had some rocky issues with misquoting the ABVs for these, so they normally stopped putting them onto their cans. So you can always call and get the ABV for it, but this one we do not have the ABV.
So this could be like 6%, this could be 20%. We have
Well,
no idea.
back they used to say that a lot of theirs were like 10%. They were selling for like these high prices, and then so a lot of folks had an issue with buying them and come find out they're only like 5%, 6%.
Ooh.
So
Well, that's not good. Well, I hope they cleared that up because I'm hoping this one's going to be good.
they've always been fantastic. So I'm excited to try it.
I do like fruity stuff, so I'm hoping I'm going to like this one. So today's conspiracy theory is going to be the Mandela Effect. First off, I kind of want to talk about what the Mandela Effect is and how it became to be, things like that, and then we'll get a little bit more into the conspiracy of it, okay? So what the Mandela Effect is it's a shared false memories. It's basically when a large group of people remember something that differs from what historical records are actual facts. So basically a bunch of people remember something one way, but in the historical records it's not the same. Okay, so with that being said, the origin of the name. So the first technical Mandela effect that ever happened was the fact that many people incorrectly remember the South American leader Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, but he actually didn't pass away until 2013. That is the first known Mandela effect. That's what coined the name the Mandela effect. So Nelson Mandela never died in prison, but a lot of people collectively think he did.
I can honestly say I did not know where the origin came from. I'm very familiar with it. I mean, everything from the Monopoly guy to the spelling of Oscar Mayer to, I mean, there's a lot of them that we believe is happening.
Okay, so what other ones can you remember? Do you remember the cornucopia on Fruit of the Loom? I swear that was there, but apparently it's never been there. Is that how it goes, or something like that with the cornucopia?
Yeah, everybody believed it was there, and it's not there. It's just the fruit.
So like that one, or the Star Wars one, wasn't there? The Star Wars one was like everybody remembers this. Luke, I am your father. When he never actually said that, he said, "No, I am your father." He never said Luke in the movie. He just says, "No, I am your father."
Well, this goes into the whole one of, do you remember from the movie Tombstone? And everybody's on the I'll be your Huckleberry or I'll be your Huckleberry.
It's I'll be your Huckleberry.
But a Huckleberry would actually make more sense. Like if
wait, which one is true?
That's my point.
I don't know. I remember it being Huckleberry. What do you remember? I might have to go back and watch it.
Well, do you know what a Huckleberry is?
No, I have no idea what
a Huckleberry is. An old term for somebody who carries your casket. It was a hucklebearer, like a pallbearer.
I was going to say then a pallbearer?
But a hucklebearer, it's actually carrying the huckles of the casket. And it was an older term. So
is that what those are called? They're called huckles?
Yes.
Wow, okay. I didn't know they were called huckles. All right. That's kind of like in the older days like that, in those times. Do you remember that's where the term, riding shotgun came from. So it was when they ride stagecoaches and riding shotgun would be the guy holds the shotgun while the other guy's like riding the coach so they wouldn't get robbed, right?
Yeah.
So think about the old times. Okay, back to Mandela Effect. Okay, so there's all these different collective memories of the Mandela Effect and saying that. Okay, so let's get into the conspiracy theory of it. Okay, so that's what the Mandela Effect is. So why is that a conspiracy? Okay, so here's a couple things. Number one, basically one of the explanations for this theory include that the idea that memories are evidence of a collective conscious or a simulated reality. So basically saying that maybe we're all part of a collective conscious, or theorists suggest that AI is using a social media test, like a social media to test how far it can stretch our perception before we realize the deception.
So you're saying like a subliminal messaging. Like if I tell you something enough times, you're just going to believe it.
Correct. So like something like that. So or everybody remembers it away. So but where are most of our archives stored? They're stored online. So whoever can control those archives could basically say, hey, we're going to change this and see how far we can push it before people say, wait a second, something's up here. So that's a theory saying that, or it's proof that we're all part of one consciousness, saying that when we all change the mind and as a collective, it distorts reality itself. Does that make sense? Do you follow me on that? You follow me on how that works?
I get that. See, to me, the whole Mandela is like one of those things that if I show you 1,000 flashcards and it shows something different on each one of them, or look the same, but then I show you the real
like
one.
Ink blot thing?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
If I showed you enough things that so many times, but then showed you the original, and you're like, well, that's not the original. Because you've seen something so many times, you believe that that's what it actually is. Mm-hmm. So it's not really it. Because I could show you an original painting and then like show you a 1,000 other copies, but have something different that was on all the other ones. But now you believe that was the original, and that's what it should have been.
Perhaps.
Kind of like on your cornucopia. Like,
yeah, I get it. It's the opposite of subliminal messaging. Would that be what that is?
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be. I don't know. Something not necessarily opposite, but I smell what you're stepping in.
It's your perception. Yes. you picking up what I'm laying down.
I'm picking up what you're laying down. I got a shovel. I can dig it.
All right.
Yeah. So all right. So hold on. So here's another one. So another way to think of it as conspiracy is that there's alternate realities or parallel universes. Some conspiracy theories suggest that these shared false memories are evidence of alternate realities where people may shift between timelines or carry residual memories, meaning that we don't live in the same reality we used to.
So we're going all Avengers on this and having different timelines?
That's what they're saying. There could be different timelines. So if we all remember, so it all kind of points to one thing, and I kind of like this theory. I'm a fan of this theory. So back in 2008, okay? 2008 was the first time CERN, the Hydrogen Collider, or whatever that thing's called, that thing. They're saying that in 2008 it opened a dimensional portal, causing timelines to bleed into other timelines. Because when you think about it, again, the first one that we ever really realized for the Mandela Effect happened in 2013. So they're saying CERN basically shifted us into a parallel universe. So anything that happened prior to 2008 are the memories that we collectively think are different. Like there's nothing that happened after 2008 that we all think is different. It's all stuff before 2008. So they're saying that maybe CERN shifted our entire universe into a different reality.
Wait. This goes back to 2000 now. When computers went down, that's when it went. When everybody believed it, right when it hit midnight going into from the 1999
the year 2000. Get out of here.
It did.
Oh my God, the date's not going to change. The one won't become a two.
They don't know how to roll numbers over. I think that's where the paradox happened.
Okay,
right there, right when it hit.
I'm not smelling that one.
They were watching for it, and then all of a sudden it happened.
Those roses really smell like poo.
Right? That was like that exact same thing when they were going to release 5G.
That's I mean that's different. That was a different thing. I'm saying the 5G thing never had like alternate realities.
Well, we'll save that one for another.
Yeah, that's a different. So, the other one part of that is saying that, and this one I'm a fan of too. This theory is, what if it's kind of like a Back to the Future thing, where somebody went from the future to the past and they made small differences, and those small differences are shifting our reality.
Change the outcome.
So basically, you know how like the picture got erased and people were gone. So saying that somebody went back in time and shifted reality. So things changed, but our memories didn't change. So they didn't change our memories; they changed things that are in the physical world. So things in the physical world changed from time travel, but our memories didn't change. Make sense?
Does.
Okay. Well, I'm saying that's a good part of that theory as well, and I'm a fan of that one.
That's not a bad one.
Any comments on that one? Anything here?
Well, the last one I have. It reminds me of that black and white photo of the time traveler. Have you seen that? Where they have a photo back from like the I don't even know. It's like the 40s or something. And then they got the guy, the hipster, and the sunglasses and the T-shirt, and like you can tell it looks like he's from like our days, but he's a hipster back in like, I don't know, it could have been the 1800s. I just remember it was a really old photo, but it had a hipster in it. It's a legitimate photo. Like, it's out there, and I can't remember. I think they call it the hipster. If you get a chance to look at it, it's pretty wild.
The hipster.
Okay. Yeah, something like that, I think.
All right, so what do we think of this one? What's your thoughts?
Okay, so this one coming in, it reminds me of Hawaiian Punch. It's good. It's very fruity. Very, very fruity. Again, it's weird because for all the flavors on it, I don't really taste much of the mango. I mean, I'm probably more of like I get a lot of the pear, the strawberry. So hey, don't mind us. One of our lights just went out. Yeah, it's spooky.
Well,
see, we're talking about the time travelers.
The time traveler. He went back and he unplugged my light. So, anyways, we're almost done with these ones. We're going to finish these ones up. So you know what that means. Let's get to the next pour.
I always like the sounds of popping cans. Ooh. It's dark. It's a brown.
Well, it's a darkie.
She's brown. All right, folks. Our next one we're actually going to be drinking here is hails from a brewery down in Doral, Florida. It's called Tripping Animals. Is the name of the brewery. It's the name of the beer is called Pumpkin Delic. It is a brown ale with pumpkin spices in it. It comes in at a 6% alcohol. I've always loved their cans. They always got animals that are obviously all blown out on some drugs, but the cans the artwork's always funny to me.
I'm a fan of the Trash Panda Pumpkin. Trash Panda Pumpkin. He's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's like, is this a stinky pumpkin? I don't know. But that's I just like the can. It's a cool can. So it smells a little strong. It smells a little strong. We'll find out about this one. So all right. So back to the Mandela Effect. I want to bring this one up. So I want to go through. So that's the theory of some of the conspiracies behind the Mandela Effect. But let's go into, this is a whole bullet point, if we believe the scientific explanations of the Mandela Effect. So now it's like, okay, so this is what the Mandela Effect is. These are the conspiracies behind it. Now, do we believe what scientists say, or is this just a bunch of hoopla? Okay? Here we go. First one. Memory is imperfect. I believe that, first off. Before I say anything, I believe this is why, when you're on trial and they say eyewitness testimony and all these other things, it's just by going off of somebody's word, the memory is not that good. So
that's normal for me.
So they say psychology and neuroscience explain the Mandela Effect is a common physical phenomenon, not proof of a parallel universe. So what do you think of that one? Basically, scientists say we're dumb and we don't remember the past.
It's probable. I mean, think about it. You could have a dream every night, right? You could have a reoccurring dream, but you don't remember the whole dream, right? But yet, the dream was there. You remember it, only snippets, but yet it was so vivid through the night. See,
I think that's a little different because that's your subconscious. That's not well, first off, what is reality?
That's what I'm saying. It's your subconscious.
But my point is, but your subconscious is always active, but it takes the driver's seat when you sleep. So when you're sleeping, your subconscious is going wild, but then your conscious mind is when you're awake, so it doesn't always remember what the subconscious is doing.
Not totally true. Think about this. You ever been on a drive where autopilot kicks in, and all of a sudden you wake up when you got home but don't remember the drive? Now, mind you, I've done it sober. And I've known people that do that.
I hope you've done it sober.
Well, I'm just
I hope
saying,
you've not done it drunk either.
Right. So, but I'm sure there's lots of people out there. I'm sure some of you guys have actually done that. You're just either tired, you've driven like a whole half hour, maybe even an hour on autopilot, and all of a sudden, like, you kick in, you're like, holy crap, I'm home. And, like, you don't remember the drive. You can't tell me you've never done that.
I mean, I've done that where it's kind of been on, like, you're in autopilot like that doing. But I'm saying, like, for instance, but that's
your subconscious still kicking.
It is, but
it's
that's
like the motor skills tell you to still work. So you're
that's like that's like if your knees scratch it. If your knees itchy, you subconsciously just scratch your knee. You don't think about it. It's your subconscious just doing it. It's like us talking. It's just we just know how to talk, so we just do it. It's and that's why a lot of people say open mouth, insert foot, because they don't use their conscious mind to talk. They're talking subconscious. They're just reverberating a bunch of garbage. So then, like, you say something you didn't mean to say because you didn't actually think about it before you said it.
But that goes back to what you're saying. So, like, that you don't remember.
So, but what I'm saying, though, is just because we have, what's the word, fickle? I don't know, fickle memories, like memories that are not the sharpest memories, doesn't mean that that's not proof
like
of
it's
something
stuck
that's
way down in your subconscious.
I'm just saying, if everybody remembers it to be one way, how can that say we're just dumb and we don't remember things? I'm just saying, if it's a collective, I don't buy into that one necessarily. Okay, so next one. Memory distortion. Our brains can create false memories through a process called memory distortion. People can also reinforce false memories by seeing them repeated in media and online. I actually believe that's true. That definitely the media says the same stuff all the time. So I believe that kind of thing. And if it's said over and over and over and over and over and over again, of course, that's something that...
That's what I mean. It's like that's even the news. Think about it. Something didn't happen. As long as it's posted and somebody believes it's news, it doesn't mean it's always true.
All right. So you're telling me, somewhere along the line...
Like, if you read what was on the front page of the newspaper because you trusted the news. Remember, trust no one. Drink everything, guys.
So here's what I'm saying, though. You're telling me, throughout my entire childhood, somebody beat into my brain that Ed McMahon would come to my house if he won Publishers Clearinghouse. But there's no trace evidence of that anywhere online. He never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. Ed McMahon never worked for So you're telling me, I remember commercials of this. I remember him come with $1 million check saying, oh, you just won Publishers Clearinghouse. And all this. I remember this, and I'm sure a lot of you remember that as well. But if you go look it up right now, you won't find any of that. You'll find he's never worked for this. You're saying to me, now I fickle memory. Somebody beat that in my mind to create a false memory? I don't think so. How did that get there?
I remember him being on commercials.
But he never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. He never was there. It's not a thing.
He may not have worked for him, but he had to have been in a commercial.
No,
to tell me he was never even in a commercial.
He was never in a commercial for them, ever. He never showed up to somebody's house.
Why do I remember getting mail?
That's what I'm saying.
With his name on it. I'm
just saying. Look it up. Maybe if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you found something. If you find something about Ed McMahon, hard evidence that he worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, or you got pictures of him, or you got an old commercial, link that in the comments, please, because I'd love to see that. All right. So that one's, I'm pretty sure on this one, though. I'm pretty positive on that. All right. So, information, whether right or wrong, can spread and become reinforced through social sharing, leading to a shared sense of certainty about a false memory. So again, they're just saying that I don't buy into these scientific explanations because, again, I go back to, let's say, the cornucopia. Where was it ever shared that the cornucopia was on Fruit of the Loom? Where was it ever shared? How do we all remember that? But it was...
Somebody might have just thought it, so they started drawing it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if somebody believed it was there because they're thought processing, and all you need is 2 people to believe it, those 2 people spread it, 3 people. It's almost like the can. When you whisper something to somebody and where it goes down a chain and when it ends up at the end it's completely different.
You ever play that game Telestrations? You ever heard of Telestrations?
Vaguely.
So Telestrations is kind of like that. So like the first person writes something, like says, I like steak, or like just writes out steak. And then the second person has to draw a picture of steak. And then they give it to a third person. That person has to write what they think that is. So I could be like, hey, steak. You draw a picture of steak. Next person writes ribeye. Next person borrows something, and then the guy writes dog bone. And then the guy draws a bone, now he writes skeleton. And so the first person said steak, and the last person says, it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm just saying, that's kind of like how information gets spread, unless there is that consistent, like you said, like a consistent, like repeating something over and over and over again.
Because it's almost like how a rumor gets started. Trust me, like that's how I believe the Mandela Effect. Because if you believe something, somebody says something. It's one thing, or you hear it incorrectly. That goes back to us, like here in the movies. Like when you think you hear that's what they said in the movie, and it's not what they said. But if enough people, because you tell, like a song. You ever sing a song and you think that is the lyric?
Oh,
so you sing it so many times.
Ooh, did you know that is a Mandela Effect? Did you hear the one about Queen? So the Queen, the "We Are the Champions" song.
Mm-hmm.
So in the original Queen's "We Are the Champions," did you know the very last line of the song? What's the very last line of the song? We are the champions
Of the world.
That's my point. Of the world's not there. If you go listen to the original recording, Of the World is not there. It's not. I have the album upstairs. I had to go check it myself. Again, if I'm wrong on that one, blast me in the comments on that one. But I'm 90% sure this one too.
It. So he's got a copy where they removed
No, I don't think
so.
I think you know where that came from. Maybe that was like in a movie somewhere, and they kind of added that or something. That's why we all think it was there. But in the original, it's not there. It's not there.
Fair enough. That's what I mean.
All right. Well, speaking of the original, what'd you think of the first one, or what do you think? Well, first off, what do you think of this one? What do you think of it?
Okay, so this one I like it, but I'm also a gourd or pumpkin fan. I love my. So this one here is unique though. I almost taste a smoky flavor, and I think it's the spice. It's almost like a smoky pumpkin, but it definitely has a lot of pumpkin spice. Not an overkill, but I like this, especially for a nut brown. I'm a huge Porter and nut brown fan, so I don't want to be biased on any of these because I don't judge any beer differently than what I would.
Okay, well,
Your effect.
I will hold my comments to the end, but let's go back to the first one. So Fruit Fellas. So Fruit Fellas, what on the trust scale? What do you that 1 to 10 on the trust scale? What are you giving the Fruit Fellas?
Okay, so I like my my fruit stuff on this. So that one there, and folks, if you were to trust me, my trust, I'm gonna give that 1 out of 10 an 8, solid 8. All right.
Yeah, I was a fan of that one. But again, it was weird because it had I don't want to say almost like a pulp in it. Didn't it have like a pulp?
Remember, it's
real
fruity style.
Yeah,
it's smoothie, so they use real fruited.
It had like a pulp in there, which I didn't mind because I do like a pulp in my orange juice and such. But it had like almost like a pulp in there. So I do like. I didn't mind that at all. But I actually liked the Fruit Fellas a lot. I really did like it a lot. So on a trust scale, I'm actually going to give that one a 9 on my trust scale.
I mean, I am winning you on.
So you're winning me on these ones. So that one's like a 9 on my trust scale. So when we get to the Pumpkin Delic, I like to say Pumpkadelic or something.
Yeah, Pumpkadelic.
It's hard to say together. It feels like it rolls off easier. Pumpkadelic. Pumpkadelic.
Pumpkadelic or Pumpkindelic, but there's like a hyphen or a slash in it.
Pumpkindelic.
But Pumpkadelic.
It sounds like it's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to coin that one.
A hip hop.
When you make this again, you should call it Pumpkadelic.
Pumpkadelic.
All right. So what do we got? So what do you on the trust factor? What do you put this one on?
Okay. I'm normally not big into smoky beers. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if there's smoke in here, but I taste smoke. That's just maybe my palate's off on this one right now. But honestly, on my trust factor on this, I'm probably about a solid 7. And it's just because I like my pumpkins, and the pumpkin flavor is really robust in this.
Okay, so I'm going to be truthful on this one. First off, it kind of smells like the animal that looks at the front of there. It kind of smells like a trash can. I'm just saying, I like fruity stuff. This one, it kind of smells like that, like the animal on the can. I would have to say, like, it's not terrible. I'll give it that. It's not terrible. It's not terrible at all. It's not super hoppy. Like, I don't like hoppy stuff, but I would say this one right here, I would probably give this one like a 5. Like that's where I'm at on this one. This one I'm not the happiest with this one, but it's not terrible. I'll put it in a 5.
That's the whole point of trying it,
right? With that being said, so let's get to the Mandela Effect. First off, we both admit on the trust scale of 0 to 100, Mandela Effect is 100% real.
100%.
100%. So I'm 100%. Now, when it comes to the conspiracy theory of this one, of, you know, us potentially having a collective conscious or time travel or ultimate, like, basically meaning it's because of something and not of our poor memory. What on 0 to 100, where do you put on it something other than poor memory?
I'm going to put up there with the 90% that were in the Matrix.
90% from the Matrix? Okay. All right. So that's an interesting one. Okay. I would say with something, whatever it is, whether it's, you know, time travel, the Matrix, whatever, I would say I'm at like a 70% that something's off. 70%, 30% saying we have crappy memory and it's just us. But I think 70% something happened. Make sense?
I do.
Okay. But that's about it today. And so with that being said, cheers, brother.
Cheers.
I hope to see you again for another drink.
I'm Robert.
I'm David.
Till next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this show this evening. I tell you what, if you liked it, hit that like button. It's going to be somewhere around on the screen. We've talked about that before. Also, please leave us a comment. It could be anything. Let me know if you enjoyed a drink or a conspiracy, or give us some feedback to let us know what you'd actually like to hear. Subscribe, and then you can hear those little ding just for that notification.